their properties to fires carelessly caused by electric companies and others. Michael knows that sports betting companies preyed on and manipulated consumers into losing their life savings, and he wants to make them pay. If you have suffered financial hardship as a result of online sports betting and would like help seeking compensation, please submit your claim information for evaluation at sportsbettingclaim.com. Michael Watts is focused on winning for you. sportsbettingclaim.com.
Do you hear that? That's the sound of uncertainty lurking under your hood. You know the feeling. I know I do. That sudden sinking sensation when you see a check engine light or your car unexpectedly breaks down and you're faced with sky-high repair bills. It's time to shield against unexpected repairs with CarShield. CarShield is America's most trusted auto protection company and has an A rating with the Better Business Bureau. Don't let the fear of a breakdown keep you up at night. Trust the Shield, CarShield, and say goodbye to terrifying repair bills and hello to peace of mind. Your plan also comes with 24/7 roadside assistance, courtesy towing, rental car options, and so much more. Don't wait till it's too late. Call CarShield now before a breakdown. Protect your wallet. Protect your car with CarShield. Get our best protection ever. Call now. You'll thank me later. 800-247-6135. 800-247-6135. That's 800-247-6135.
I've got a question for you. Do you want a lower car payment just by making a phone call? You know, most people buy a car and they pay whatever the car dealer says their interest rate is, and they forget about it and make payments. But did you know there is a secret in your contract that allows another company to refinance any car payment to try and lower it? It's true. There is indeed a company out there that knows the ins and, more importantly, the outs on car loans, and they know how to lower your current car payments. It's easy and fast, and you could have a lower car payment next month. Make this free call right now and find out if you could lower your existing car payment. Call the Car Savings Hotline right now. The call is free.
Call now. 800-605-1680. 800-605-1680. 800-605-1680. That's 800-605-1680.
Titillating Sports with Rick Tittle. Rick Tittle is a genius. The best show ever. He's so wonderful. Genius. The best show ever. He's so wonderful. Titillating Sports with Rick Tittle. Rick Tittle he's so handsome. He's a genius.
Now listening to the Rick Tittle Show. Good for you.
Thanks for that, and welcome back to the show. We'll talk a little tip day coming up next. The Olympic hockey is underway, and the first game in the quarterfinals. As soon as I woke up, I saw Macklin Celebrini scored yet again. His fifth goal in every game. But at the end of second, it's 2-2 with the Czech Republic, and that's pretty scary for the Canadians that it's honors even right now. Slovakia already put away Germany. Regenda of the Sharks with a couple of goals there. Switzerland and Finland just dropped the puck, and the Swedes and the Americans will be getting underway around noon time out here. So we'll be keeping our eyes on that. 1-800-878-PLAY. You ain't got no alibi. You're ugly. Yesterday, me was talking about how Tony Clark was going to resign as head of the Players Union for Major League Baseball. And that is apparently a true story at this point, but we thought it was because of some of these potential, I don't want to call them flat-out scandals now, potential scandals with some of these other companies which they had ties to that were rewarding their executives with a lot of money. But apparently the news comes after an internal investigation revealed an inappropriate relationship with his sister-in-law, who he hired to work for the union in 2023. The union said, "The strength of this union is and always will be the solidarity of our membership. We have a long history of fighting for the rights of every player, and we're committed to making sure we can continue that fight successfully. So I mentioned Marcus Semien yesterday, Cal Bear, and part of the executive subcommittee with about 5 other players. And he said Clark didn't say anything to the players about anything. And I remember yesterday they asked Mark, is he resigning because of these scandals? And Marcus said, I guess so, which is what all of us said. So it's unclear who's going to take over as the head of the union, but they just want to keep things stable, as the CBA does right now in December. I always feel that no matter what happens with agreement in any sport, when it comes to bargaining agreements or new contracts, whatever, it makes no sense to either side to just settle right now, even though it makes every sense to settle right now for the stability of the sport, the just to solidify everything and know where you're moving forward. This is why lame duck managers on a 1-year deal, even though you only want them 1 more year, you always add 2 more just to make them feel okay and tell your fan base, well, we believe in this guy. Even if you don't, and you'd like to see him play out that last year as a manager, you give him at least 1 more year to say, oh, this is the guy, even though you know you're going to fire him. It's weird. That's the way it usually works. So Chris Bassett, who I got to know a little bit in his time with the A's, who's also on the executive committee, said, quote, I feel like we have made mistakes in the past by rushing through decisions, and the executive subcommittee and all agreed we want to get this right. We don't want to get it done just because there's a void. I would think we would have this wrapped up in 24 hours, but at the end of the day, I believe that making sure all 1,200 plus players have a true opinion on this and a true understanding of everything we know is more important than filling it as soon as possible. Yeah, you want to get the right guy, but I can also tell you, Chris Bassett, you don't want the opinion of 1,200 plus players. You know, it's like baby names. You know, they always say, don't tell people. What are you going to name me? Oh, Robin. Robin, like the bird? Christopher Robin from Winnie the Pooh? Actually, a girl named Robin. She was a mean slut. Don't call her that. All I'll think baby is a mean slut. I'm like, whoa, what are you doing? John, that means bathroom. What are you doing? So I understand that, but don't ask everyone. But anyways, they said you wait till the very end because that's when the leverage hits, right? It's like the trade deadline, and sometimes you wait too long, like the A's did with Mark McGwire and Anderson. So it's the Eastern District of New York. Those were the prosecutors looking into those licensing companies, one partners and players' way. And the union put almost $4 million in the company, and almost all the money just went to executives, not the kids. And the guy I was talking about yesterday, the guy who's halfway, if you like it, the half man, the vice president, this guy Meyer, that Flaherty and Giolito and Happ tried to remove him, and then they all lost their jobs on the subcommittee. So just as a reminder, it's Semien, Bassett, Suter, Jake Cronenworth, Pete Fairbanks, Cedric Mullins, Paul Skeens, and also Mr. Tarek Skubal. So, you know, they always say, well, negotiations usually get going during the spring, and then opening day they get a little bit more serious. So I remember Rob Manfred said it's actually a positive if you lock out because then it makes everybody focus, and which is really stupid. You know, it's like saying it's actually when someone robs you of all your belongings because it makes you appreciate what you have. And like, what? So the one thing that it doesn't matter if Tony Clark is there, it doesn't matter if they get a new guy in 24 hours or they ask everybody's opinion, if they want to ask Nick Kurtz who he wants to hire, it doesn't matter because the owners are going to try to get a salary cap across. Now, the owners know that will never happen, but they have to pretend like it will. And then you start giving things like what they really want is they want more playoffs, and the players don't. And I would think the players would want more playoffs because you get more money if you make the playoffs than they don't. But even if the players do, they have to act like they don't. It's all part of the negotiation, and then you start saying, all right, well, since you're not giving us the salary cap, then give us these 6 other things. So the union says the salary cap is a non-starter. So now what the union will do will be like, okay, we'll give you the international draft. You think the union cares about the international draft? No. You know why? Because they've all been drafted. Not one guy in the union is going. And so instead of saying we sent our scouts to Venezuela and we got these guys, wow, how did a little team look at that and the Yankees didn't get them? Because we have better scouts and paid higher bonuses. Oh, wow. Well, now you take kids from the DR and let's say South Korea and Japan. Maybe they would get in if they're not part of NPB. Maybe they want to play college ball instead. And Venezuela, if they're still speaking to us. In America, if they don't hate us, we can have a draft. And so then the union will be like, oh, damn it. All right, we'll give you the draft. They don't care. But they're going to act like they care. And so Tony Clark, the only thing I think it really hurts is just himself and his rep. And, you would think that when you're in the top guy, you'd mind your P's and Q's. But a lot of times when you're the top guy, you can think you can do anything you want. So it's a double-edged sword. All right, I'm Rick Tittle. Let's take a quick break. We will come on back and talk Tipty on the other side.
I'm holding in my hand the American Silver Eagle dollar. It's a beautiful piece of American history. It's 1 ounce of silver. Originally minted in 1986, these coins are a beautiful classic piece of American history, and they're a great investment you should add to your portfolio. The beauty of silver is that however much you have available to invest, silver is affordable and easy to acquire, with one coin costing around $30. So, if you choose to invest $1,000 in silver, you can get quite a bit for your money, and you'll have a tangible asset that you can hold, one you can be proud to own. Claim your piece of American history with American Silver Eagle dollars. Call the Silver Hotline right now.
800-620-1624. 800-620-1624. 800-620-1624. That's 800-620-1624. Keep listening for details on how to get up to $300 airline credit. Sky Holidays introduces a one-of-a-kind air credit program. Our buying team got a little too aggressive in getting hotel and air deals, so now we have to liquidate our prices. Here's how. Whether you want to go to Paris, Las Vegas, London, Atlanta, Hawaii, or anywhere else in the world, we have amazing deals. Book a selected hotel and we'll give you up to $300 airline credit. Now you can book your vacation and get a free credit to use towards airline travel. We'll book both, airline and hotel, with one simple phone call. We have access to most airlines and deals on thousands and thousands of places to stay. Call right now, book your hotel rooms, claim your airline credit. You can change or modify it at any time. 800-256-4816. 800-256-4816. That's 800-256-4816.
I am a non-attorney spokesperson representing a team of lawyers who help people that have been injured or wronged. If you've been involved in a serious car, truck, or motorcycle accident, or injured at work, you have rights, and you may be entitled to money for your suffering. Don't accept an offer you get from an insurance company until you talk to a lawyer. And we represent some of the best personal injury lawyers you can find. Tough lawyers that will fight to win your case. And they're so good they stake their reputation on it by only getting paid if you win. So if you've been in a serious car, truck, or motorcycle accident, or hurt on the job, find out today for free what kind of compensation you may be entitled to. Call the legal helpline right now.
800-401-5163. 800-401-5163. 800-401-5163. That's 800-401-5163.
You can't be serious, man. You cannot be serious!
Rick Tittle's got a black belt in keeping it real.
All right, thanks for that. Little Motley Crue back in the Too Fast for Love days. I remember going to see Randy Hansen at the Keystone in Berkeley, the Jimi Hendrix impersonator. And this band that opened for them kicked ass. And I remember I asked my friend the next day, I go, what's the name of that band? He's like, Motley Crue. I was like, they were pretty good. He's like, they were really good. But we were just waiting for them to get off stage. We wanted to see Randy, a white guy who pretended to be Jimi Hendrix. He was very good on the guitar, but he was not good to look at. By the way, I just watched the assist from McDavid to Celebrini for his 5th goal. It's 2-2 Canada and Czech Republic going into the 3rd period quarterfinals. It's a little bit nerve-wracking if you're Canadian because you just assume you're going to get at least the silver. Really, you're expecting the gold, in all honesty. But McDavid's assist was filthy. First of all, turnover near his own blue line. He came out. He really should have been stopped. Just a little flick with his left hand, back of the blade, back to his other side. Came back and then threw the legs backwards for Celebrini to hit it home. I mean, that's why you think about 2 of the best players in the world right there. All right, Rick Tittle with you coast to coast and around the world on American Forces Radio Network. It's our pleasure now to be joined by Steve Bellamy, the man who founded the Tennis Channel. Well, he has a new venture. He's chairman and CEO of Tipty, T-Y-P-T-I. It is a brand new racket sport. It's played on a pickleball court. You got a 22-inch strung racket, 3.5-inch diameter channeled foam ball, a new scoring system. There's going to be a national circuit. There's going to be major partnerships, and a lot of players have committed as well. Steve, welcome to the show. First, I just want to say, as a guy who played tennis his whole life, as far as bugs go, people don't know it's the little thing in the corner of the screen that, tells you what network you're listening to. The T that is also part of the corner of a tennis court, I thought was brilliant.
So we tried so many logos, I cannot tell you. And then all of a sudden one day I saw that and I was like, whoa, that's it. 100%. Stop the presses. We're going with that. And then it is certainly endured. It's like the Nike swoosh.
It's awesome. Yeah. All right. Let's talk about Tipty, T-Y-P-T-I. Now, is that a nickname, or being all caps, does that stand for something like scuba?
So the all caps is a term of artisanism.
Okay.
And the name Tipty stemmed from the founder of my previous employ. I used to run the company Kodak. The founder, George Eastman, in 1877 had an adage that the best brand names were 5-letter meaningless words because they could not be confused with anything else. And so I went with Tipty. I actually had Tipty for other reasons a couple of years prior, but it's the same reason that I wanted a 5-letter meaningless word. And J. Walter Thompson was his marketing assistant at the time, he went off to start the J. Walter Thompson Agency and was very heavy in grocery stores. And if you walk around any grocery store and start looking around, you will start noticing Pepsi, Evian, Gleam, Krell, Crest,
Xerox.
And you'll realize, there is something to this 5-letter meaningless word thing. And I didn't want to be derivative with tennis something or something ball. I wanted to be soccer or squash or some name that was unique to only it. And so Tipty, I'm not going to say we were 100%. It was sort of a placeholder for a while, and then it just became the placeholder that it was.
So you invent a sport, and then you get a lot of big shots to throw in money. Actors, comedians. How did you? What was your elevator pitch to say this is not so much going to take over the world, but you need to get in on the ground floor right now?
I think most of the people were betting on me. I didn't give anyone a number. I didn't give anyone a business plan. I refused to do it. I said, here is the premise. I've spent 30 years tweaking and twiddling and trying to build the perfect racket sport. I'm probably one of the world's better or foremost experts on racket sports in total. And so I just took all of the good of all of the other racket sports, got rid of all the bad, and made what I think is pretty perfect. It started with the ball strike. I wanted to make a ball strike to where you could load, explode, and rip, and the ball finds the line. And it took hundreds of pairings, but with the racket and the ball that we have now, that's what happens. So when you go play Tipty, it is just a magical experience of really blasting the ball, and it goes in. But there's other market factors. We have built $100 billion of pickleball facilities in America, and there's no way that that's the right number. And so there's going to be a lot of excess inventory of court time. And so that is sort of like, call me software and a club is hardware. So I knew that hardware was going to need more software. And so it really made, from a financial perspective, somebody went and built all the facility for me. So it made it very easy to make a good business sitting on top of that existing infrastructure.
During the pandemic, obviously, these pickleball courts started popping up, and, I played a little bit in the backyard. It was one of the only things you could do. But as a tennis guy, I found it frustrating because the ball just wouldn't bounce. And I just had put too many decades into tennis. And I'm not a pickleball hater. It's just I don't love it. And so when I saw all these tennis clubs completely turn their courts, not even temporarily, but like repaint all these pickleball courts, I mean, I'm kind of with you. I mean, at some point, this bubble is going to burst. So if you could kind of describe your sport, because one of the things I find most attractive about it is it's not a cacophony of noise like pickleball.
Yeah.
So is it more badminton? Is the ball bouncing? Could you explain it?
Yeah, it is more like tennis. So it's tennis on a smaller court. That would be number one. Number two would be badminton. And the reason it's more like badminton, and keep in mind, a pickleball court is a badminton court. Pickleball just stole the badminton court, and they moved the kitchen line a foot or 18 inches, but it's a badminton court. But Tipty is very similar to badminton in that you can wrist snap a missile in Tipty. You cannot do that in pickleball.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't even really do that in tennis. So I would say Tipty is 60% tennis and 40% badminton with maybe a little bit of squash from a wrist perspective, and it's literally 0% pickleball. It is so polar opposite of pickleball. And I'm not disparaging pickleball. My son is one of the biggest stars in pickleball. My wife is one of the winningest players in the history of pickleball. I don't hate pickleball. I just didn't rebuild pickleball. That would be stupid. There already is pickleball. So it's miles. But the main difference, the flight of the ball is different. and the bounce of the ball. A pickleball, if it comes in at 25 degrees, it leaves at 13. Basically, it loses half of its elevation.
Mm-hmm.
A tennis ball is a mirror image of itself. If it comes in at 25 degrees, it leaves at 25. My ball, if it comes in at 25, leaves at 43. So that is a 3 times higher bounce. So basically, when you play Tipty, you're at Roland Garros after they just threw down 4 bags of fresh, and you're making chest-high ball strikes like Nadal. And when you play pickleball, you are like a catcher in baseball because everything is way, way down below your knees. And, tennis is sort of a waist-high and slightly below ball strike.
And the good thing is you don't have to throw away your clay-filled socks like at Roland Garros after you play Tipty.
Exactly.
All right. Well, Tipty.
Sock Saver Sport.
Yeah, Tipty.com, TYPTI.com for more information. And I'm excited to play this, Steve. And like I said, this is brand new. So I'd love to give it a go and talk to you again down the road.
I am doing everything I can to promote now, so you can have me on every day.
All right, good stuff.
And I promise you'll love it. Everybody that's played, first of all, we've sold tenfold the amount of rackets that we thought we would have sold by now. And we have had no returns. Everybody is just delighted.
Great stuff. Tipty.com, TYPTI with Steve Bellamy. All right, we'll catch up down the road, Steve.
Thanks so much.
All right. I'm Rick Tittle, and you just got to get other people to play with you. That's the key. All right, let's take a quick break and get on back on Byline.
Hey, airline travelers, say you have a problem and you need to change or cancel an existing airline reservation. What do? Well, Skywatch is a free service that can help anyone with any airline reservation fix it. Whether you want to cancel it, change your dates, or add passengers, we can help fix your airline reservations so you get exactly what you need. We've updated our computer database and now have access to every airline around the globe. So now you can make one phone call regardless of who booked your airline tickets, and we'll change it, cancel it, and fix it for you. We know the insider secrets to fixing reservations that the airlines don't want you to know about. So if you need to cancel, change, or modify an existing airline reservation, call Skywatch right now. It's a free call, so let us fix it for you. 855-325-5647. 855-325-5647. 855-325-5647. That's 855-325-5647.
Are you over the age of 50? Want peace of mind and financial security for your family? Here's an important message to you from Senior Care USA. The average funeral now costs over $10,000. That leaves your loved ones the burden of paying your debts and funeral costs. Our plans start as low as $1 per day and will pay your family up to $30,000 to help pay for your funeral and other expenses. There are no medical exams. Your rates will never increase, and your plan cannot be canceled, regardless of your medical conditions, as long as you make your premium payments. Get up to $30,000 in final expense insurance. Call now for free information. Just answer a few simple questions and get approved right over the phone in just a few minutes. Call right now.
Call 800-399-6879. 800-399-6879. 800-399-6879. 800-399-6879.
Life insurance is one of those things that just about everybody needs, but few people actually have. Hey, if you die unexpectedly without life insurance, guess what? You'll leave your family with even a bigger mess. Life insurance will help replace your family's income. It'll help cover burial expenses. Life insurance can even help pay off debt like credit cards and medical bills. Life insurance can even pay for college. And if you own a business and you die, life insurance can help your business from collapsing. It can even help cover estate taxes. Life insurance has never been more affordable and needed. Plus, you can always shop around even if you have a plan and save some money. So call the Life Insurance Quote Line right now for free pricing information.
800-915-9654. 800-915-9654. 800-915-9654. That's 800-915-9654.
Caught in an unchained queue, the feeling I don't want to breathe.
All right, thank you for that, and welcome back to the show. Rick Tittle with you, coast to coast and around the world on the American Forces Radio Network. That is a brand new single called "The Static" from German band Melonball, and their new album "Take Care" will be out on the 27th of this month from Thousand Island Records. And vielleicht oder wahrscheinlich you're listening on the Autobahn on American Forces Radio Network in Deutschland. As well, because joining us right now is Basti from Melonball. Basti, willkommen, is that short for Sebastian?
Yes, exactly. That is short for Sebastian. Usually my mother and my grandmother call me Sebastian, but Basti is fine for now.
All right. Where are you from? Where is the band from in Deutschland?
We're based in Nuremberg. That's in the south of Germany.
Mm-hmm.
It's in Bavaria. And thanks for having me. Just wanted to say that as well.
Yes, sort of like Nordbayern. Yeah, it's beautiful. The Altstadt in Nuremberg, I think, is very underrated. And, you know, we always will go to places like Rothenburg, Obertauber, and places like that. But Nuremberg, don't sleep on the Altstadt in Nuremberg.
No, definitely not. If you happen to be in Nuremberg, catch the castle and the Altstadt. It's very nice.
Yes, das ist aber schön. All right, maybe you can tell I'm Deutsches Amerikanische. Ich habe Familie in Nordrhein-Westfalen, Baden-Württemberg auch. All right, in English now. Well, how did you guys all get together? And the name Melonball, where did that come from?
So basically, we all met at a festival ground in Slovenia. It's called Punk Rock Holiday. And as the name indicates, it's truly a punk rock holiday. And we kind of knew each other from Nuremberg, from our hometown. And we got to talk and we came up with the idea, we all love punk rock and we all love to make music. And that's basically how we started the idea for putting the band together. And obviously we came up with Melonball. It's a signature drink at the Punk Rock Holiday Festival, so it wasn't a far-fetched.
So as a young band, were there bands that sort of took you under their wing and helped you? And then contrastly, were there bands that were maybe rude to you?
Actually, no. So far, I think we played like 150 shows for the last couple of years, and everybody we played with, everybody was super nice. We made a bunch of new friends, and I hope this journey continues.
So I spent a lot of time in Germany, especially when I was younger in the 80s, and loved punk rock. And there was a club in the Schwaben, in a little town called Wasseralfingen, called Tenne, and we would go to that. I'm sure it's probably not there anymore. But I remember the bands we listened to. One was called Slime. I'm sure you probably heard of them. And there's another one I liked that's a little under the radar, Bärchen und die Melkbubis. Have you heard of them?
No, never heard of them. I know Slime for a fact, but no, not the other one. What kind of music do they do? Like punk or?
Yeah, it's very kind of lighthearted, fun punk with a female front person, Little Bear Bearschen and the Milk Boobies, the Milk Boys, and you can still find their stuff. But anyway, that's a deep dive from an old guy. I thought I would throw that in.
I will give them a listen.
All
Thanks
right.
for the tip.
Sure. Okay. So we heard a little bit of The Static, which is out now. And as I mentioned, the album, if you're in Germany, it's Rookie Records. Here in North America, Thousand Island Records. The album is Take Care. Tell us about the album, please.
So it's our second record, and when we started writing songs for the second album, we kind of thought, well, we already found our Melonball sound kind of within the first record, Breathe, and we kind of thought, what can we do? What can we improve? What are the influences we want to put into this record? And we came up with a pretty raw sound, a pretty raw approach of songwriting, and like we went into the studio with a couple of ideas. We tracked everything. Our drummer, he's a beast. He tracked the whole album in like 4 hours. I'm not kidding you. And then we got the whole vibe together in the studio, and actually we're pretty happy how it turned out. Straightforward, raw record. It's more punk rock than skate punk in our opinion, and yeah, we're super happy with it.
So at this point now, as I mentioned with the Thousand Island Records, are you thinking about doing a U.S. tour or maybe coming to Punk in the Park or some of those festivals?
I'm not sure right now. I mean, in 2024, we did a run in Eastern Canada, and hopefully we can come back to Northern America. We'll see. We'll see. If we're going to Northern America, you'll be the first to know.
I just remembered, I was thinking about all the, this tells you how old I am, all the cassette tapes I have. I have a couple from Razzia. You remember them?
Yeah, actually I do.
I think out of Hamburg, if I'm not mistaken.
That's where Rookie Records, or other German label, is based, actually in Hamburg.
Aha! Near the Reeperbahn.
Yeah, it's actually it's not that far away. You can actually walk.
Very good. All right, so you know, as I said, my musical, I'm older than you, so I grew up listening to Dead Kennedys and Descendants and Circle Jerks and Agent Orange, bands like that. Who were some of the bands that you listened to? Did you like get into the older bands like Black Flag and all that, or was it mostly newer stuff?
I'd say my first time I came into touch with punk rock was NoFX and Lagwagon, I think. But the band that pretty much stood out for me is Bad Religion. I mean, they shaped a form of punk rock I very much like. It's the melodic approach, where you can also find a couple of melodic vocal lines in Melonball's music, but it's not just the inspiration from those older hero bands, I'd like to call them, that we draw inspiration from, but also from befriended bands within in our closer circle. We have lots of friends in Germany and also in Israel, whatever, everywhere basically, and friends from ours we like, we draw inspiration from. Yeah.
When you look back at the 70s, and in England, of course, the Sex Pistols and the Damned and the Clash weren't so much punk, but they were on the edge. And then here in America, we had Ramones and Stooges and bands like that. Are you into punk history as well?
A little bit, I'd say. I very much adore the Ramones.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say I'm more of a Ramones guy than a Sex Pistols guy, if you ask me.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it depends. As you mentioned, I'm not that old yet, but yeah.
Well, I also think it's cool that, because I remember in the early 80s, a lot of times the punk music was associated with the Skins, and that's not what punk was all about. And so I thought that was good that finally got separated, that it wasn't, no national front. They just wanted music that they could thrash and destruct things to, and there's a big distinction there between like Deutsches Punk and those militant dissidents, right?
I'd say, especially in Germany, punk rock always has been political, but more tend to be on the political left side.
Yes.
And I mean, Melonball sees themselves as a political band, so we never shy away from any kinds of statement or social criticism. Also, when you listen to our music and when you get into the lyrics, you will always find some political aspects within our music, and I think it's very important to be outspoken about this, especially nowadays. So yeah, punk rock is politics for me.
What can you tell us about the merch? Because I know one T-shirt it says "sicker than water."
Yeah, it's a words play actually. The track is from our first album, Breathe. It's the opening track, and it's about it's about family relations. So there's a saying, blood is thicker than water, but sometimes that does not apply because sometimes even within your family, there's bad blood or there's some differences between within values and whatever, and that's what sicker than water means. Blood is sicker than water.
I just think about now, you don't need to worry so much about albums and CDs and things as we can pull these through the thin blue sky. And what about that whole thing about getting your music on Spotify or iTunes? I guess it's just a whole new way of doing it, right?
Well, I see those streaming platforms as a form of promoting my music. Like 10, 15 years ago, it wouldn't have been possible to get a hold of so many new bands, of so much new music. You either had a cassette or a friend of yours gave you a CD or a mini disc that were a thing like for 2 seconds in my childhood. And I say on one hand it's a good development to discover new music, but the reimbursement of the artist it's not good. It kind of decreases the music's value, but especially in the punk rock scene, since vinyl came back pretty strongly, I think that's a good way to balance it out. So our fans buy vinyls, our fans buy CDs, and yeah, I think it's a good mixture.
Go to melonballpunkrock.com for more information. The album release party will be in Nuremberg on Friday the 27th, and then the next night in the home of Arnold Schwarzenegger, Graz, and then the former DDR, March 28th, Leipzig, and Sunday the 29th in Dresden. I wish I could go to the Nuremberg show, man. That sounds like it's going to be a lot of fun.
If you find the time, I'm happy to set your name on the guest list.
It's Basti from Melonball, the new single. We'll hear it again on the way out. The Static, the album Take Care, coming out very soon from our friends at Thousand Island Records. Basti, vielen Dank, mein Freund. Mach Spaß.
Thank you for having me. Have a good one.
All right, I'm Rick Tittle. Come on back on Sports Byline.
I'm holding in my hand the American Silver Eagle dollar. It's a beautiful piece of American history, and it's 1 ounce of silver. Originally minted in 1986, these coins are a beautiful classic piece of American history, and they're a great investment you should add to your portfolio. The beauty of silver is that however much you have available to invest, silver is affordable and easy to acquire, with one coin costing around $30. So, if you choose to invest a few thousand in silver, you can get quite a bit for your money. And you'll have a tangible asset that you can hold, one you can be proud to own. Claim your piece of American history with American Silver Eagle dollars. Call the Silver Hotline right now.
800-620-1624. 800-620-1624. 800-620-1624. 800-620-1624. Packages start at $29.99 a month with signed agreement. Restrictions apply. Speak to a representative for complete offer details. See Vivint.com for license details. Terms and conditions apply.
Homeowners, if you're looking for the best in home security and smart home technology at a price you can actually afford, we have great news. Now you can get Vivint's award-winning home security systems starting at about $1 a day. U.S. News and World Report has recognized Vivint as the best professionally installed home security system of 2022. And right now, you can get Vivint's home security technology for about $1 a day. Plus, get free professional installation from a licensed technician. Protect your home and loved ones for as low as $1 a day. Call right now for your security consultation.
800-918-6189. 800-918-6189. 800-918-6189. That's 800-918-6189.
Do you want to add a boost to your sex life this weekend? Do you want to make your partner and yourself happy? Then call our special hotline now. We'll sell you those little pills that work below the belt for less than $1 a pill and deliver your package in a few days, just in time for the weekend. Our pill delivers almost the same results as expensive pills for less than $1 a piece, and you don't need a prescription. And ask about their buy 3 get 3 free offer. What are you waiting for? Boost your sex life and have a great time now. Less than $1 a pill, discreet delivery in a few days, and a buy 3 get 3 free offer? Dial this number and save it now.
800-245-2751. 800-245-2751. 800-245-2751. That's 800-245-2751. Paid for by the Pharmacy Shop.
I'm not insightful enough to be a movie critic. Maybe I could be a food critic. These muffins taste bad. Or an art critic. That painting is bad.
Why can't you say you talk to me? You're already thinking about someone else. When it comes home, your bed is all be gone. But I know my day will come. I know someday I'll be the only one. So now you wait for a spark.
I'm so disgusted by Rick Tittle that I find him very intoxicating.
All right. Czech Republic is up on Canada 3-2 with 5.5 minutes left. This is not good. Now, I don't care about Canada, but I do care about Macklin Celebrini. By the way, if you get a gold medal in the Olympics, you get $37,500 prize money from our nation. A silver is $22,500, a bronze is $15,000. Singapore gives the most money, $788,000 for a gold. They've never won a gold. Very easy to offer it. Hong Kong gives $767,000. Italy, and they have given out some golds, $213,000. Poland, $211,000, and Slovenia gives $162,000. And then there are 3 countries that don't give their athletes any prize money: Sweden, Norway, and Great Britain. Yeah, what do you think of that? Team GB, you don't get none. So I'm surprised America gives any at all, because we don't support our athletes with government money. Zach Mundy? Government money. We're not like other countries that do that. And so I'm surprised that we give any prize money. But then again, the amount of money that NBC and their sponsors and everybody else gets from the Olympic coverage, you would think they would throw a bone one way or another. And by the way, after the short program, Richmond, California's, and the Pride of the United States, the world champion, Alyssa Liu, is in 3rd place right now. The other 2 Americans did not do very well in the short program. There's still time, but it doesn't look good. They'd have to have a flawless, miraculous, free-form performance. But Alyssa Liu right now in third and is posed to strike. All right, I'm Rick Tittle. We got 2 more hours. Come on back on Sports Byline.
I'm Mike Sempervive of the Sports Byline Broadcasting Network. 2-minute warning. We've reached that time of year when Major League Baseball has reported to spring training to begin the long, laborious process of getting ready for the upcoming season. The phrase "hope springs eternal" is synonymous with the start of the baseball season. The warming of the sun gives us all a feeling of more life as our teams all start the campaign tied for first place, and anything is possible over the next 7 months. Except this year, because it sure doesn't feel like anyone has any hope whatsoever unless you're a member or fan of the Los Angeles Dodgers. And I don't blame the Dodgers. They're taking advantage of their incredible wealth and resources by intelligently investing in their team, then taking those rewards and intelligently reinvesting. That's the key. They pay out a lot, but it's also to the right guys who have produced for them. And the Dodgers still have an ability to scout and acquire guys that other teams don't and develop them, which allows them to be a threat to adjust during the season. While some of your eyes may roll when I say this, they absolutely needed Edwin Diaz. It's not like the money spent to get an established closer who was one of the best in the sport was done willy-nilly. It was a deficiency for them and they fixed it, which is, I think, what bothers people the most. Kyle Tucker, despite how egregious it feels, it's just creative accounting. Did either side need each other? No. Can you blame either side for wanting to get together? Also no. But it's actually the re-signings, Max Muncy, Kike Hernandez, and Miguel Rojas, which may actually be the most important in maintaining the strong stitching of the Dodgers' backbone. Look, with baseball owners debating a salary cap and the rest of us sitting under the specter of a lockout in 2027, bringing back nightmares of '94, I'm not going to let it get me down. I know, as a Nationals fan, that's saying something. So this season, I say embrace the monster that's the Dodgers because they're the one unifying force the rest of us has. I'm Mike Sempervive with the Sports Byline Broadcasting Network. 2-minute warning.
Have you been daydreaming about losing weight for years? Do you just yo-yo back and forth? At Innovative Wellness Center, we have a holistic weight loss program that allows you to lose up to 20 pounds in 30 days. People are losing weight like crazy and keeping it off. It can be done from anywhere in the United States. Go to our website at www.innovativewellness.center and schedule your complimentary consultation today.
Every champion has a team behind them, and for thousands of families without insurance, Christ Clinic is that team. At Christ Clinic in Katy, Texas, they provide high-quality, faith-based health care to people who can't afford it, because everyone deserves a shot at health, no matter their income or insurance status. Their doctors, volunteers, their mission, rooted in compassion, their impact, over 10,000 patient visits every year and growing. But they can't do it without help from fans like you. If you ever cheered for a comeback story, this is your chance to be a part of one. Donate today at ChristClinicKaty.org and help them keep the doors open for those who need it most. One gift can be the difference between surviving and thriving. Christ Clinic in Katy, where health meets hope and faith goes to work. That's Christ Clinic Katy, spelled Katy.org. Team up with them today.
Soccer season rolls on here on the Sports Byline Broadcast Network. This is Tyler Levine, host of First Touch, the premier weekly global soccer show across the entire Sports Byline broadcast, iHeartRadio, TuneIn, Simple Radio, and around the world on the American Forces Radio Network. We're talking English Premier League, Champions League, our picks of the week, and a whole lot more. First Touch on Sports Byline USA, Fridays at 5 p.m. Eastern. See you there.
Getting together with friends to watch the game? Then you'll need American Premium Vodka. Handcrafted and pure, this is the one thing all Americans can agree on. Founder Mark Gus Scott chose the finest natural elements America has to offer, and you'll taste how great it is to be an American. Now available at Bevmo, GoPuff, Hy-Vee, and Fairway stores. American Premium Vodka. This is the America we need right now. Go to AmericanPremiumVodka.com. Celebrate responsibly.
Let's be honest. Most businesses don't struggle because demand is low. They struggle because their back end can't handle growth. Leads come in, but follow-up is slow. Calls get missed. Appointments don't get confirmed. And everything lives in different places. So even when marketing works, revenue doesn't scale. That's a systems problem. Create Assistance fixes this by building a done-for-you CRM and automation system that captures every lead, follows up automatically, confirms appointments, and keeps everything organized in one place. And only after that foundation is built, AI voice and chat employees get added on. If your business feels chaotic behind the scenes, it's time to fix the back end. Visit createassistance.ai and book your call today. Or you can call or text 515-500-2224. Again, that's 515-500-2224. We look forward to hearing from you.
Rick Tittle knows his sports.
I hate that guy.
I love that guy. Oh my gosh, he's so fine. Rick Tittle brings home the bacon, fries it up in a pan, and then he eats it.
Ricky T in the hizzle for shizzle, biznatch.
Thank you for that. Canada has tied it up with a minute left. And Bennington just saved the Canadians. There was a check breakaway, looked like a penalty shot. The guy had so much room. Made it. It was actually Nick Suzuki with the tying goal. An amazing goal where he's standing in the crease, slapped it down 5-hole. I just don't understand how these guys can do that with a curved stick on a frozen rubber disc wobbling at them and then be able to direct it like that. It's amazing. But I also heard that Nick Suzuki had a bad giveaway for that Czech third goal. So it's about 30 seconds left and we'll be going to OT. I would imagine if Canada got knocked out and didn't medal at all in men's hockey that they might shut down the whole country. The USA women are supposed to play Canada for the gold medal today, and they already beat Canada 5-0, so it would be a huge upset if the United States women did not win the gold in hockey. And there's still really no parity. It's the USA and Canada for women's hockey. That's about it. All right, 1-800-878-PLAY is the number to call. Arik Armstead is going to join us in about 15 minutes. And he was an NFL Walter Payton Man of the Year, one of the most prestigious awards you can get. Every team puts a candidate, and it's an honor in itself to be one of the 32 men, because you basically said this guy does the most in the community for our entire organization as far as players go. And then of the 32, they pick one guy, and then that honor is given at the NFL Honors the night before the Super Bowl. By the way, I got an email saying, please fill out this questionnaire since you had a credential to the Super Bowl. Did I have one? I was told I didn't have one. Did you get the same email? Okay, good. For a second there,
I think it's because technically we were like week of credentialed.
Right, but the way it was worded, it said, since you were credentialed for the Super Bowl. All right, I'm Rick Tittle. Come on back.
Welcome to guided meditation. Close your eyes. You're at the beach. The seagulls are calling. You take out your iPhone 16e you got from Cricket and use Apple Intelligence to clean up that selfie you just took. It's a good one. You send it to your friends instantly with nationwide 5G because Cricket is on the AT&T network. They're totally jealous. Get iPhone 16e for $49.99 when you switch. Smile, you're on Cricket.
Requires new line on the Supreme Unlimited plan. First service charge and tax due at sale. $25 activation fee. Terms and restrictions apply. Cricket 5G is not available everywhere. See store for details.
I am an American veteran. I'm proud to have served this country. Helping veterans is something all Americans can participate in, and it's as simple as donating an old car that you have sitting around. When you call the Veteran Car Donation Program, they'll explain how their program works, and then arrange a time they can come and pick up your vehicle for free. Running or not, it doesn't matter. They take cars, trucks, motorcycles, or vans. Show your support by donating your car and get a tax deduction in the process. Call the Veteran Car Donation Program right now. They'll come and pick your car up for free, and you get a tax deduction in the process. Call the number we're about to give you right now. Thank you, and God bless America.
800-887-1097. 800-887-1097. 800-887-1097. That's 800-887-1097.
Quick question. How many calls, texts, or messages does your business miss every week? Nights, weekends, busy days. That's lost money. Create Assistance helps businesses fix that problem using AI employees that answer calls, respond to texts, book appointments, and follow up with leads 24/7 automatically. No extra staff, no complicated software. Everything runs inside one simple command center that replaces scattered tools, missed follow-ups, and manual busywork. Whether you're a service business, office, or multi-location company, Create Assistance keeps your business responsive, organized, and running even when you're off the clock. Stop letting leads slip through the cracks. Visit createassistance.ai to book a free call. Or you can call or text 515-500-2224. Again, that's 515-500-2224. We look forward to hearing from you.
Have you been daydreaming about losing weight for years? Do you just yo-yo back and forth? At Innovative Wellness Center, we have a holistic weight loss program that allows you to lose up to 20 pounds in 30 days. People are losing weight like crazy and keeping it off. It can be done from anywhere in the United States. Go to our website at www.innovativewellness.center and schedule your complimentary consultation today.
Hour 2 of titillating sports. You thought it couldn't get any better, but it's better. Rick Tittle is back. He's so great. I can't believe how awesome he is. More sports talk, yes. Couldn't get any better, but it's better. Rick Tittle is back. He's so great. I can't believe how awesome he is. More sports talk, yes. Hour 2 of titillating sports.
Hey, check out Channel 9. Check out Rick Tittle.
Thank you for that. Welcome back to the show. Arik Armstead will be coming up shortly. It's overtime between the Czechs and the Canadians, so that means 3-on-3 hockey, wide open. Both teams have already had a shot. First shifts are over, which means Macklin Celebrini of the San Jose Sharks is on the ice as we speak, and Canada just won. Wow. Canada just won. Wow. Crazy. It's as soon as I started talking about it, it was a done deal. All right, but Rick, should I turn off your show? Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. All right, and look, as I said, do I care about Canada? No, I mean, they are our neighbors to the north, but I only care about America. 1-800-878-PLAY. Get in and get heard. By the way, Arik Armstead is from EG, as they say, in the 916. That's Elk Grove, which is a little bit east of Sacramento, and a guy who was one of the best defensive ends in his entire class, and he was also a great basketball player. And he committed to go to USC, and then changed his mind at the last minute to go to Oregon. And you know, he's still young. He's 32, but when I was growing up, if USC came calling, you would not go to Oregon. Who went to Oregon? Fouts? That just was not a football school. They had a decent basketball program, and actually Oregon State had a pretty good basketball program as well. And they recruited from the Bay Area, like the Gary Paytons of the world. I always found that, especially in the Big Sky Conference, like the Utah States and the Idaho State, Weber State got Damian Lillard from Oakland. They were much more, let's just say, lax with the academic requirements. And I'm just being honest. You know, it's like, how are your grades? Not good. Did you graduate? Yes. Come on in. I remember when I was in high school, and I was like, where am I going to go to college? And I had a few ideas of where I wanted to go. And there is a school called Middlebury, which is up in, I think it's Vermont or New Hampshire, Middlebury State, one of those. And they were trying to expand their student body. And they said anyone who graduates high school in California will get accepted. And my dad was like, well, they'll take you. But when I finally got into college, it was a tentative acceptance, meaning I had to graduate, and I had to graduate in the top half of my class. And there were 83 guys in my class. It was a very small school. And yet we were a state power in football, go figure. There were 83 guys in my class, and I was 40th. So I barely graduated in the top half. Meanwhile, as I'm killing timer before Arik Armstead, because the only academic award I ever won was a Bank of America Computer Science Award. I was the computer whiz of the school. You can't really, like, there was no word for me if you wanted to pigeonhole me, because I was the quarterback, but I was also the #1 tennis player, but I liked being in musicals and singing and acting in Shakespeare plays, and I played Dungeons and Dragons, but I didn't smoke weed, but I drank beer. So it's like, theater nerd, jock, dork, cool guy? I don't know. But anyway, Elk Grove from the Sacramento area. All right. By the way, we were talking about grievances with unions. Well, how about this grievance? The NFL has won its grievance against the NFL Players Association because of the surveys. Remember that? It said it violated the league's constitution and bylaws. I mentioned this the other day, that they thought that this would get overruled. But it prohibits players from, quote, publicly criticizing any member club or its management, personnel, employees, or coaches. And these report cards allowed players to assign grades on a number of categories, and then they were ranked 1 through 32. Then the NFL Players Association published the results, and then would work with the media to say, hey, this guy is this, and this team is that. And I was talking about the other day that it said this is solid feedback, so players can make their decisions about where they want to go next. It's mostly just for public shaming, because I'm sure the people who came in first were like, hey, look how great we are. But for the most part, you can just call other players. I remember when Quentin Mock was on the Raiders, and he goes, man, I'm going to the Raiders. That's where I go to die. I went, what everybody says? I remember when the Ravens lost to the Raiders, and you had Lewis. It's the Raiders. How can no one loses to the Raiders? And I was like, man, killing me there. You're killing me, White. You're killing me. Yeah, and so anyway, that grievance now has been won, and the league claimed that the hearing highlighted, quote, the numerous and significant limitations in the methodology and accuracy of the team report card results. So the union has disagreed with the ruling, and it says it will continue the survey. They won't make the results public. And that's half the battle there, too, because when you make the results public, that was the big problem. And there's nothing wrong. You can do a survey on anything you want. And so at that point, should we go to a break right here? No, don't go to a break right here. Okay. All right. And we have Arik with us? Okay, we have Arik Armstead with us. Arik, unfortunately, we just have a couple of minutes, but I want to make sure that Rick Tittle with you, by the way. I just want to make sure to talk about the Dr. Seuss Enterprises and the Creative Minds publication teaming up for the annual Tackle Reading event. Tell us a little bit more, please.
Yeah, really excited about this event. As you mentioned, it's the 10th annual Tackle Reading event in partnership with Dr. Seuss and Creative Minds. And I have the opportunity to go to Lakeside Elementary School here in Jacksonville, which is also a partner of the Armstead Academic Project, our organization. And it's truly about inspiring youth and showing them that reading and literacy is cool. And so I have the opportunity to do a story time with them where I'm going to be reading a Dr. Seuss book. And also we're going to be gifting books to the entire school to promote literacy and reading. So we're really excited about it. And I've been doing these story times for years, but the partnership with Tackle Reading on this initiative is going to be super fun for me.
Yeah, I just think about, too, we sort of take reading for granted, but like you grew up in EG, I'm from the Bay Area, and at some point we had to learn, and half the battle sometimes is making it fun to keep the kids interested. And as a former, Walter Payton Man of the Year, I know it's important to you to keep giving back, right?
Yeah, 100%. It really, my passion for this started way back when my struggles for reading in elementary school, and really seeing the power that your environment can have, your support system, and the people that ensured that I got what I needed to get better at reading and better at school. And, literacy is the foundation of a young person's education, but it's also the foundation of their life in general. The ability to read, to imagine, it all starts there. And so that's what we love doing, is showing that it's cool. And if I can come into a classroom and inspire a few kids to think that reading and literacy is cool and important and fun and exciting, that's what we love doing.
And then finally, talk about exciting times in Jacksonville. Won the division. You got the right coach. Trevor now is a vet. You guys are ready to go. And I guess you just keep building on that strength, right?
Yeah, 100%. It was a huge turnaround for us from the previous year. Literally flipped our records from 4-13 to 13-4. And the future is looking bright. Really excited to continue this journey of becoming the team that we know we can be, and earning respect around the NFL. You got to take respect, and that's by consistently dominating people out there on Sundays. And so that's what we're looking to do, and excited to keep building towards.
All right, Dr. Seuss Enterprises and Creative Mind Publications teaming up for the 10th annual Tackle Reading event. We've been speaking with Arik Armstead. Arik, great stuff. Keep up the good work, and best of luck next season.
Thank you. I appreciate you. Good to talk to you.
All right. I'm Rick Tittle. We will come on back with open lines the rest of the hour on Titillating Sports.
I'm holding in my hand the American Silver Eagle dollar. It's a beautiful piece of American history, and it's 1 ounce of silver. Originally minted in 1986, these coins are a beautiful classic piece of American history, and they're a great investment you should add to your portfolio. The beauty of silver is that however much you have available to invest, silver is affordable and easy to acquire, with one coin costing around $30. So, if you choose to invest a few thousand in silver, you can get quite a bit for your money. And you'll have a tangible asset that you can hold, one you can be proud to own. Claim your piece of American history with American Silver Eagle dollars. Call the Silver Hotline right now.
800-620-1624. 800-620-1624. 800-620-1624. That's 800-620-1624. Keep listening for details on how to get up to $300 airline credit. Sky Holidays introduces a one-of-a-kind air credit program. Our buying team got a little too aggressive in getting hotel and air deals, so now we have to liquidate our prices. Here's how. Whether you want to go to Paris, Las Vegas, London, Atlanta, Hawaii, or anywhere else in the world, we have amazing deals. Book a selected hotel and we'll give you up to $300 airline credit. Now you can book your vacation and get a free credit to use towards airline travel. We'll book both, airline and hotel, with one simple phone call. We have access to most airlines and deals on thousands and thousands of places to stay. Call right now, book your hotel rooms, claim your airline credit. You can change or modify it at any time. 800-256-4816. 800-256-4816. That's 800-256-4816.
It's more than a rebellion. When your teen is slipping into drugs or alcohol, when social media and pornography consume their time and their mind, when depression and even suicidal thoughts cast a shadow over your home, as a parent, you feel powerless. There is hope. At Turnabout Ranch, troubled teens step away from the chaos and into a clarity of nature on a working cattle ranch. Care for horses, learn responsibility, build trust, and rediscover purpose. It isn't theory, it's real work, real therapy, real healing. Families from across the country have found transformation right here, just when they thought hope was gone. If your teen is struggling with addiction, harmful online behaviors, even weight management, call right now and get the help you all need.
800-219-2494. 800-219-2494. 800-219-2494. That's 800-219-2494.
Teams have 4 attempts to move the ball 10 yards. So if you see a graphic on your screen that says first and 10, that means it's the team's first attempt to get 10 yards.
You must be crazy. Use a DOG. And if you was my man, I would have been kicked you out of my house by now. This is what had happened.
All right, thank you so much, and welcome back to the show. Rick Tittle with you, coast to coast and around the world on the American Forces, right? Not just the American Forces Radio Network, but the American Forces Radio Network. Hot. There's a local kid who played high school football in Northern California named Jaden Rashada, and his well-traveled story has been told many times, but he finally got a lawsuit settled yesterday. That was the one with Billy Napier, the former head football coach at Florida, and a booster. Rashada sued Napier and Gators booster Hugh Hathcock in 2024, claiming that both men defrauded him by backing out of promises for an NIL deal that was worth $14 million. So the lawsuit also included a former staff member of the football team and the auto dealership that Hathcott owns. And Rusty Harden, there he is, Rashada's lawyer in the case, confirmed that they had settled with all parties and they declined to give any details. Harden said of Rashada, he's a bright young man with great judgment, and he thought it was time to move on. He made the point he wanted to make, and now he's ready to go play football. Well, so remember, Rashada went to Florida, and then he backed out and went to Florida State, and then he ended up going to Arizona State, where he played a year, and then he went to Georgia to be the quarterback there, and it didn't work out. And then he went to Sacramento State, and then he pulled out of Sacramento State, and now he's going to go to Mississippi State. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 colleges. This is a guy who came out of Pittsburgh High School in the Bay Area, which is next to Antioch, where Najee Harris is from. But if you think about those two programs, Antioch High and Pittsburgh High, they've put a lot of good players out there, baseball players as well. And then you get some of the other high schools back that way, Taiwan Jones, Doherty Valley, and like that. But anyway, Florida fired Napier after the 3-4 start last season. He's now head coach at James Madison because the James Madison coach is now the head coach at Indiana, Coach Sig, when he left, and then the other one went to UCLA. So Napier was scheduled to be deposed, and they did not have official comments, but Napier apparently said that he's comfortable with his actions in recruiting Rashada. So Rashada claimed that Hathcock and Napier promised him $14 million because he had committed to go to Miami. Let's get a 7th school involved. And the lawsuit said that his dad, Rashada's dad, would get a $1 million signing bonus. This is, if your kid is really talented or really rich, right? You hope that, first of all, you shouldn't care about getting your piece of the pie, but you would think it would be trickled down. In other words, hey, I bought grandma a house. She lived on the 3rd floor of that dump forever. I bought grandma a house. Oh, it's amazing. Dad, you've been so great to me. I bought you an F-150, fully loaded. Oh my gosh, that's so amazing. Thank you. But not the dad. Yeah, I want my $1 million signing bonus. What did you do? I'm his dad. Yeah, and what did you do? We saw that the highest paid female soccer player on the planet right now is not Aitana Bonmati. It is Trinity Rodman. And Trin, as her teammates call her, who also plays for the United States Women's National Team and is a very good player. Obviously, you would think so with the money she's making now. There was a time when she was living with her mom in a car while her dad, Dennis Rodman, was making it rain at strip clubs and whatever, and had other kids. And so when Trinity became a world-class soccer player and Rodman showed up, she was like, I'm good, It's been well documented. Now, she wasn't fiery about it. She was just basically not like, I hate you. It's just basically kind of like, yeah, I'm not interested. And I remember before the World Cup, he was there, and she went over and gave him a cursory hug, kind of like the hug you would give, like a girl would give a man a hug who is a complete stranger, kind of like a arms extended, barely touching the back type of hug. But anyway, Rashada's recruitment, I remember when I heard he was transferring to Arizona State, I was over the moon for about 2 hours. I was like, I can't believe that, because I'm a Sun Devil fan. I'm like, I can't believe we're getting that kid. And now he has this rep of just trouble seems to find you. like wherever you go, it's going to turn to crap. And that's not fair to him. Did he get some bad advice? Absolutely he did. If his dad is demanding a $1 million signing bonus, you're getting bad advice. Now, I saw that another Cal linebacker, Ulave, who's an amazing linebacker, he just transferred to BYU. Cal is the number one ground for bringing in transfers, it seems. They got both of their linebackers are now gone. The running back is gone. And yet, JKS decided to stay. Jaron Kawawe Sangapolotele, Tosh Lapoy coming in. But that's just the way college football is now. If you're any good, you're going to bolt and get more money. So if Rashada committed to Miami and then Florida, and then Florida State said, no, you should come here, there's nothing wrong with that. That's all within the rules. But I do remember last year when he decided he was going to go to Sacramento State. To me, that was just rock bottom because they were an FCS school. Now, next year, they'll be an FBS school because they're going to the MAC. That's right, the Mid-American Conference, Sacramento, California. But if you think that's weird, remember that Sacramento had a Canadian Football League team. You might think I'm lying. The CFL tried to expand into America, and they thought the capital of California would be a great place. Sac has tried that before. They had a team called the Mountain Lions in the over 40 league or whatever it was. Now, I don't care who you are. If you're at the conference room and someone's like, how about a professional football league for people over 40? And it's like, how about you jump out the window? Because that sounds like a better idea. Anyway, Rashada, it looks like he got paid. And if he deserved it, then that's good for him. Don't promise kids things and then pull it off the table. I'm Rick Tittle. Let's take a break and get on in with your call at 1-800-878-PLAY.
Of 50, want peace of mind and financial security for your family? Here's an important message to you from Senior Care USA. The average funeral now costs over $10,000. That leaves your loved ones the burden of paying your debts and funeral costs. Our plans start as low as $1 per day and will pay your family up to $30,000 to help pay for your funeral and other expenses. There are no medical exams, your rates will never increase, and your plan cannot be canceled, regardless of your medical conditions, as long as you make your premium payments. Get up to $30,000 in final expense insurance. Call now for free information. Just answer a few simple questions and get approved right over the phone in just a few minutes. Call right now.
Call 800-399-6879. 800-399-6879. 800-399-6879. That's 800-399-6879.
Every champion has a team behind them, and for thousands of families without insurance, Christ Clinic is that team. At Christ Clinic in Katy, Texas, they provide high-quality, faith-based health care to people who can't afford it, because everyone deserves a shot at health, no matter their income or insurance status. Their doctors, volunteers, their mission, rooted in compassion, their impact, over 10,000 patient visits every year and growing. But they can't do it without help from fans like you. If you ever cheered for a comeback story, this is your chance to be a part of one. Donate today at ChristClinicKaty.org and help them keep the doors open for those who need it most. One gift can be the difference between surviving and thriving. Christ Clinic in Katy, where health meets hope and faith goes to work. That's Christ Clinic Katy, spelled KATY.org. Team up with them today.
Let's be honest. Most businesses don't struggle because demand is low. They struggle because their back end can't handle growth. Leads come in, but follow-up is slow. calls get missed, appointments don't get confirmed, and everything lives in different places. So even when marketing works, revenue doesn't scale. That's a systems problem. Create Assistance fixes this by building a done-for-you CRM and automation system that captures every lead, follows up automatically, confirms appointments, and keeps everything organized in one place. And only after that foundation is built, AI voice and chat employees get added on. If your business feels chaotic behind the scenes, it's time to fix the back end. Visit createassistance.ai and book your call today. Or you can call or text 515-500-2224. Again, that's 515-500-2224. We look forward to hearing from you.
This is special too. It's look, see, still got the old tagger on it. See, never even played it. See?
You just bought it?
Don't touch it. Don't touch it.
I wasn't going to touch it.
No, don't touch it.
I was just pointing at it.
Well, don't point even.
Don't even point?
No, it can't be played. Never. I mean,
Can I look at it?
No, you've seen
Don't
enough
look
of
at
that one.
I'm so disgusted by Rick Tittle that I find him very intoxicating.
All right, thank you for that. If you find me super intoxicated, you can hear me on KMBR today, 2 to 6, with Larry Kruger, all byline all the time. Last time I did a show with Larry Kruger was 2010. It's been a while. And I'll be on local radio, which means it's back to interviewing beat writers. That's the thing they say. What's the difference between syndicated? Well, syndicated, I get, Pratt and Crow, and then I get the beat writers on the local radio. All right, whatever. Looking forward to it. But we still have a show. We're just a little halfway done. And I'd love your participation at 1-800-878-PLAY. We got open lines just basically the rest of the way. So I want to get back to tanking, especially German tanks. Everybody seems to have an opinion at All-Star Weekend, and we talked to the commissioner yesterday, but Reggie Miller told a group of international media members that he's against tanking because it runs counter to the competitive spirit of the game, and he said that it would anger the basketball gods and that tanking, quote, never works. It never works? Well, remember last year, the Sixers, when their postseason aspirations went kaput, right? They shut down Joel Embiid and Paul George and Tyrese Maxey, and their final month, they lost 29 games. Now, the basketball gods, if you're a polytheist, I'm not, they shined down because they got the 3rd overall pick and got Jay Edgecombe. And they really like him. And the Sixers have a winning record. And so Tyrese Maxey was asked about that horrific last 5 weeks of the season and whether it was worth it. He said it was definitely rough to go through, but this year we've done a really good job in turning things around. And Maxey said, the outcome was VJ Edgecombe, who was like a little brother to me now. You know what I mean? He's great, man, not just basketball-wise, but for our team personality-wise and culture-wise for our organization and things that we're trying to turn around. Well, all that ends well with tanking, right? For the Sixers there. The league doesn't see it that way. And remember, Silver said it's been part of the league for a long time, but it's worse than ever. And so, especially if you think about that whole thing when the Warriors got screwed in the very first lottery, and they did get a Hall of Famer in Chris Mullin, but they're supposed to get Patrick Ewing. And would I have rather had Patrick Ewing? The answer is yes. Even though I love Mully, I would have rather have had Ewing. I remember being in Europe in '85, and I was at the Samaritain, which was this mall in Paris, and there was Patrick Ewing wearing his Georgetown jersey on a huge poster. And I had never seen a reference to American college sports in Europe in my life. I had never seen it. I thought, wow, we need to draft that guy. But now, of course, if you're the number one team as far as being a loser, you can't drop out like the Warriors did. And, Silver has preached parity like all commissioners. And, there are 8 teams that are basically tanking and more that probably should be. I mean, maybe the Bucks will win on it, but 2/3 of the league is trying to win. And that is a huge field of teams that are not being competitive now. So, meanwhile, the teams at the bottom, this is the plan is to get lucky in the lottery and get BJ Edgecombe. And so, I look at the Kings, the worst team in basketball. And it seems like yesterday that they were playing the Warriors in the playoffs, and everybody was going ape crap up there with light the beam, a beam of doo-doo. Light the beam, drink some Jim Beam. They're the champions of tanking. And right before the All-Star break, they played Utah, who aren't good, and they lost by 28. 15 losses in a row. That's the most since they were the Cincinnati Royals in 1970. Zach LaVine has been shut down the rest of the year. Now, he did have hand surgery. DeMontis Sabonis, Keegan Murray, Russell Westbrook, DeAndre Hunter, Malik Monk, they're all hurt. Think about how old they are. You got Westbrook and DeRozan as your backcourt. What's that, 38, 37 years old? So you got Nick Clifford, Dylan Caldwell, Daquan Plowden. Clifford, in that game against the Jazz, 1 for 15 from the floor in 38 minutes. I think all of us, if we took 50 shots, we'd probably get 1 to go in. Plowden 5 for 17. Now, those guys are trying. They're just not very good. So that's called tankaholic. How about the Jazz? When you get fined $500,000 for antics, conduct detrimental to the league. The NBA communications memo, quote, during game against the Miami Heat on February 9th, Jazz removed 2 of the team's top players, Larry Markkinen and Jaren Jackson Jr., before the beginning of the fourth quarter and did not return them to the game, even though these players were otherwise able to continue to play, and the outcome of the game was thereafter in doubt. Now, the Pacers got fined $100. Adam Silver said, overt behavior like this that prioritizes draft position over winning undermines the foundation of NBA competition, and we will respond accordingly to any further actions that compromise the integrity of our games. Additionally, we are working with our competition committee and board of governors to implement further measures to root out this type of conduct. Can you imagine a league that teams aren't trying, but aren't trying? Did this ever affect the A's? Whenever they got amazing players and they were shipped out, traded, or not signed? Now, you can do it in baseball. And so the Jazz have been doing this a lot. They start Markkinen and Yusuf Nurkic and Jaren Jackson, in games, and then they all sit in the fourth quarter. In fact, Triple J has been shut down for the season now with a knee. That seems like a pretty clever workaround. I mean, the league wasn't dictating how much they had to play them. It's just you didn't play them. And so if they were smart, they would have caught on to this, would have said, put in Markkanen for 2 minutes. Just have him go in there for a few free throws, and then we'll pull him back out. You just wonder, when I talked to Rick Barry, and he said, I'm a basketball player and I want to play. I mean, if you know you're going to lose and you get paid exactly the same amount of money whether you win or lose, and maybe potentially your career will last longer because you won't go out there and get hacked in some meaningless game. Is there a meaningless game when people are paying huge, huge money? No. But to the players and teams, there are meaningless games. If you look at the worst record in the East, it's the Wiz, and they have a 3-game losing streak going to the last 14 of 18. Do you remember Trae Young and Anthony Davis? They're Wizards now. Huh? Yeah. And then Alex Sarr, the big French guy after Wemby, well, he's out 2 weeks with a hammy. They're on autopilot right now. You wonder about the Mavericks with 19 wins. And they had a 4-game winning streak in January, and then they panicked and lost 9 in a row. I mean, Cooper, that poor guy, he's just grinding and trying his hardest to be a good player. But at this point, Indiana, I mean, think about how much they dropped without Halliburton, on the verge of maybe being champs, and now they have 15 wins. And, their last game against Utah, they just sat Pascal Siakam, and they got a $100,000 fine, And then, so going into the break, they won 2 in a row. They beat the Knicks and the Nets on the road, but 15 wins. You could even say the Bulls lost 9 of their last 10. Lost to the Nets and the Pacers and the Bucks. Josh Giddey hurt, Trey Jones hurt, Dylan Smith hurt. And, you think about, Nick Richards playing 30 minutes off the bench. Believe me, as a Warrior fan, I saw drops. I saw crap like this for years and years. And that's just the nature of the sport. And that's why I say NBA regular season basketball, you can get some amazing games. But I think as a consistently, it's kind of meh, when you have a really good team and a star like Steph, it's not meh. But for a lot of these teams, you want to watch the Pacers and the Jazz, watch Netflix. All right. I'm Rick Tittle. Come on back on Sports Byline.
I am a non-attorney spokesperson representing a team of lawyers who help people that have been injured or wronged. If you've been involved in a serious car, truck, or motorcycle accident, or injured at work, you have rights, and you may be entitled to money for your suffering. Don't accept an offer from an insurance company until you talk to a lawyer, and we represent some of the best personal injury lawyers you can find. Tough lawyers that will fight to win your case. And they're so good they stake their reputation on it by only getting paid if you win. So if you've been in a serious car, truck, or motorcycle accident or hurt on the job, find out today for free what kind of compensation you may be entitled to. Call the legal helpline now.
800 401-5163, 800-401-5163, 800-401-5163. That's 800-401-5163.
I'm holding in my hand the American Silver Eagle dollar. It's a beautiful piece of American history, and it's 1 ounce of silver. Originally minted in 1986, these coins are a beautiful classic piece of American history, and they're a great investment you should add to your portfolio. The beauty of silver is that however much you have available to invest, silver is affordable and easy to acquire, with one coin costing around $30. So, if you choose to invest a few thousand in silver, you can get quite a bit for your money, and you'll have a tangible asset that you can hold, one you can be proud to own. Claim your piece of American history with American Silver Eagle dollars. Call the Silver Hotline right now.
800-620-1624, 800-620-1624, 800-620-1624. That's 800-620-1624. Packages start at $29.99 a month with signed agreement. Restrictions apply. Speak to a representative for complete offer details. See vivint.com for license details. Terms and conditions apply.
Homeowners, if you're looking for the best in home security and smart home technology at a price you can actually afford, we have great news. Now you can get Vivint's award-winning home security systems starting at about $1 a day. U.S. News & World Report has recognized Vivint as the best professionally installed home security system of 2022. And right now, you can get Vivint's home security technology for about $1 a day. Plus, get free professional installation from a licensed technician. Protect your home and loved ones for as low as $1 a day. Call right now for your free home security consultation.
800-918-6189. 800-918-6189. 800-918-6189. That's 800-918-6189.
To me, it's like a mountain, a vast bowl of pus.
Who cares about anything else when you've got Rick Tittle on the radio?
Thanks for that. You know, last March, history was made in San Jose down at Muni. It was the first ever matchup between an Indie League team and an MLB affiliated team for an exhibition. And it was very early for the Oakland Ballers playing the San Jose Giants because the Ballers had no workouts. They just flew in for the game, and their season was going to start for another 6 weeks. But for the Giants, the A-ball Giants, they had come off of spring training. They were ready to go. Kyle Lozano with a home run in that game, and it was a lot of fun. It was broadcast by both broadcast teams, and San Jose ended up winning. But the coolest thing about that was that both teams won their leagues. The Giants won the California League, and the Ballers won the Pioneer League. And so I bring it up because they're going to run it back. Battle of the Bay 2.1, champion versus champion, Gigante versus Scrappy. It'll be back at San Jose Municipal Stadium on March 31st. Once again, put in your calendars, March 31st. And it was a lot of fun. If you've never been to Muni, is, by the way, the second oldest stadium in California. Only Edwards Track Stadium at Cal is older. And you can tell that that is an old place. It's just a big hunk of cement right by San Jose State. In fact, I played lacrosse outside Spartan Stadium. There was a field. Lacrosse would always get the short shrift. I played lacrosse in San Jose State in a field like right next to Muni. That's what it was reminding me of. But yeah, it's pretty cool that both teams went on to be champs. And the little artwork, they have Gigante holding up the Cal League trophy, which kind of looks like an NCAA flat thing, and then Scrappy, the rally possum, holding up the leaded glass jug from the Pioneer League. All right, we got another hour. We'll take a quick break, and we will come on back on Sports Byline.
I'm Mike Sanfervivi of the Sports Byline Broadcasting Network. 2-minute warning. We've reached that time of year when Major League Baseball has reported to spring training to begin the long, laborious process of getting ready for the upcoming season. The phrase "hope springs eternal" is synonymous with the start of the baseball season. The warming of the sun gives us all a feeling of more life as our teams all start the campaign tied for first place, and anything is possible over the next 7 months. Except this year, because it sure doesn't feel like anyone has any hope whatsoever unless you're a member or fan of the Los Angeles Dodgers. And I don't blame the Dodgers. They're taking advantage of their incredible wealth and resources by intelligently investing in their team, then taking those rewards and intelligently reinvesting. That's the key. They pay out a lot, but it's also to the right guys who have produced for them. And the Dodgers still have an ability to scout and acquire guys that other teams don't and develop them, which allows them to be a threat to adjust during the season. While some of your eyes may roll when I say this, they absolutely needed Edwin Diaz. It's not like the money spent to get an established closer who was one of the best in the sport was done willy-nilly. It was a deficiency for them and they fixed it, which is, I think, what bothers people the most. Kyle Tucker, despite how egregious it feels, it's just creative counting. Did either side need each other? No. Can you blame either side for wanting to get together? Also no. But it's actually the re-signings, Max Muncy, Kike Hernandez, and Miguel Rojas, which may actually be the most important in maintaining the strong stitching of the Dodgers' backbone. Look, with baseball owners debating a salary cap and the rest of us sitting under the specter of a lockout in 2027, bringing back nightmares of '94, I'm not going to let it get me down. I know, as a Nationals fan, that's saying something. So this season, I say embrace the monster that's the Dodgers because they're the one unifying force the rest of us has. I'm Mike Sempervive with the Sports Byline Broadcasting Network. 2-minute warning.
Have you been daydreaming about losing weight for years? Do you just yo-yo back and forth? At Innovative Wellness Center, we have a holistic weight loss program that allows you to lose up to 20 pounds in 30 days. People are losing weight like crazy and keeping it off. It can be done anywhere in the United States. Go to our website at www.innovativewellness.center and schedule your complimentary consultation today.
Every champion has a team behind them, and for thousands of families without insurance, Christ Clinic is that team. At Christ Clinic in Katy, Texas, they provide high-quality, faith-based health care to people who can't afford it, because everyone deserves a shot at health, no matter their income or insurance status. Their doctors, volunteers, their mission, rooted in compassion, their impact, over 10,000 patient visits every year and growing. But they can't do it without help from fans like you. If you ever cheered for a comeback story, it's your chance to be a part of one. Donate today at ChristClinicK.org and help them keep the doors open for those who need it most. One gift can be the difference between surviving and thriving. Christ Clinic in Katy, where health meets hope and faith goes to work. That's Christ Clinic Katy, spelled KATY.org. Team up with them today.
Soccer season rolls on here on the Sports Byline Broadcast Network. This is Tyler Levine, host of First Touch, the premier weekly global soccer show across the entire Sports Byline broadcast, iHeartRadio, TuneIn, Simple Radio, and around the world on the American Forces Radio Network. We're talking English Premier League, Champions League, our picks of the week, and a whole lot more. First Touch on Sports Byline USA Fridays at 5 p.m. Eastern. See you there.
Getting together with friends to watch the game? Then you'll need American Premium Vodka. Handcrafted and pure, this is the one thing all Americans can agree on. Founder Mark Gus Scott chose the finest natural elements America has to offer, and you'll taste how great it is to be an American. Now available at Bevmo, GoPuff, Hy-Vee, and Fairway stores. American Premium Vodka. This is the America we need right now. Go to AmericanPremiumVodka.com. Celebrate responsibly.
Quick question. How many calls, texts, or messages does your business miss every week? Nights, weekends, busy days. That's lost money. Create Assistance helps businesses fix that problem using AI employees that answer calls, respond to texts, book appointments, and follow up with leads 24/7 automatically. No extra staff, no complicated software. Everything runs inside one simple command center that replaces scattered tools, missed follow-ups, and manual busy work. Whether you're a service business, office, or multi-location company, Create Assistance keeps your business responsive, organized, and running even when you're off the clock. Stop letting leads slip through the cracks. Visit createassistance.ai to book a free call. Or you can call or text 515-500-2224. Again, that's 515-500-2224. We look forward to hearing from you.
Rick Tittle knows his sports.
I hate that guy.
I love that guy. Oh my gosh, he's so fine. Rick Tittle brings home the bacon, fries it up in a pan, and then he eats it.
Ricky T in the hizzle for shizzle, biznatch.
Thank you for that, and welcome back to the show. Rick Tittle with you, coast to coast. Sorry to report the passing of former NBA coach Doug Moe at the age of 87, 19th all-time in wins. I'll always remember him as the Nuggets coach in the 80s, and the Nuggets put out the Denver Nuggets organization and was devastated to learn of the passing of legendary coach Doug Moe. Coach Moe was one of a kind leader and person who spearheaded one of the most successful and exciting decades in Nuggets history. He'll forever be loved and remembered by Nuggets fans, and his banner commemorating his 432 career victories as head coach will hang in the rafters to forever honor his incredible legacy. It goes on and on. That guy was a character. He was actually pretty funny a few times as well. George Karl, who, by the way, all the best to him, he's not looking great. Knock on wood. But George Karl tweeted out, Doug Moe was my big brother. I am sad today. I will miss him. Love you forever, Doug. But Doug Moe and George Karl both played at North Carolina. And there was even though he was a great player at North Carolina, Doug Moe's college career was cut short due to a point shaving scandal. Even though he didn't shave points, he did take money from a conspirator. But he played hoop in Italy. He played a couple years for the Oakland Oaks as well in the ABA. But yeah, he was quite the character. He was definitely old school. He reminded me of that guy that was forever at CCSF, the Irish guy. I can't remember his name now. Do you know who that is, Dominic? The old, man. Everybody bowed down to that guy. Don Nelson bowed down to him. I'll figure it out in the break. All right, 1-800-878-PLAY, 1-800-878-7529, and the Twitter's at Rick Tittle, email at rick@sportsbyline.com.
Have you suffered sports betting losses? There is someone who wants to fight for you to see you get back what you have lost to those sports betting companies. Michael Watts is a prolific trial lawyer with over $11 billion in total recoveries for his clients. Now with sportsbettingclaim.com, he'd like to help you. Michael has been a leader in some of the largest and most complex cases in the country, from defective cars and tires to damaging drugs and medical products. He has always represented the rights of individuals harmed by large corporations. His efforts recently resulted in the recovery of billions for individuals who lost their properties to fires carelessly caused by electric companies and others. Michael knows that sports betting companies preyed on and manipulated consumers into losing their life savings, and he wants to make them pay. If you suffered financial hardship as a result of online sports betting and would like help seeking compensation, please submit your claim information for evaluation at sportsbettingclaim.com. Michael Watts is focused on winning for you. sportsbettingclaim.com.
Do you need to sell your home? If you've sold a home before, you remember how stressful and expensive it was. Sold.com is here to help you sell your home for the most money and with the least amount of stress. There are new ways to sell your home that you've never heard of before. Did you know there are companies who'll offer you cash for your home? Did you know you could trade in your home for a new one? Did you know there are realtors who'll sell your home for a flat fee instead of an expensive commission? It's true. Sold.com services are free. So if you're looking to sell, make this free phone call right now and learn how your next home sale can be faster and easier than you ever thought possible. Pick up your cell phone and call right now. 800-251-7816. 800-251-7816. 800-251-7816. That's 800-251-7816.
It's game day. Are your moderate to Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms keeping you in the action? Skyrizi, risankizumab Riz, could help you get back to the game. Skyrizi is proven to help people feel significant relief, achieve remission, and visibly improve damage of the intestinal lining. Skyrizi is a prescription injection medicine for adults. Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines. Liver problems leading to hospitalization may occur when treated for Crohn's or ulcerative colitis. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 prescribed biologic in Crohn's and ulcerative colitis combined. Learn more at skyrizi.com or 1-866-SKYRIZI.
Titillating Sports with Rick Tittle. Rick Tittle is a genius, the best show ever. He's so wonderful, genius, the best show ever. He's so wonderful. Titillating Sports, Rick Tittle. Rick Tittle he's so handsome, he's a genius.
I am so excited to be back on the Rick Tittle Show.
All right, it's 11:12 Pacific time. It's time to check in with our friend JD Sharp from Pro Wagering. He has the experience to get you the results when it comes to betting sports. JD, I wanted to ask you your opinion here as the dust settling from the football season and spring training is just to get underway. We got a lot of basketball. Hockey is taking a break, although in the Olympics it's going, and congrats to Canada for pulling out of the fire against the Czechs. The USA will take on the Swedes here coming up in about an hour. But in the NBA, the topic of tanking has come up again with the commissioner. We've already seen a couple teams fined, one $500,000, another $100,000. Do you think we're going to get to the point where they'll take draft picks away or maybe move their position in a lottery? Because about a third of the league right now is tanking.
Yeah, I think what they need to do is Barkley had a pretty good idea. He said that there should just be a tournament. There should be a tournament for the tanking team and the worst team gets the worst pick, and the one that wins gets the best pick, and then that factors into your record.
Mm-hmm.
But then somehow they equate that into your record. Like basically they do so that the lottery's gone, right? The lottery's gone, and it's all about that, and it's about the in-season tournament. The team that wins that tournament then gets the pick, or gets some chance of getting the pick, or top 4 or something like that. But that's what I think you have to do. You have to flip it on. I think you have to flip it on its head and create. I mean, the NBA has been proven that they know how to do in-season tournaments. Just do the same thing with the teams that the bottom 13 teams, the bottom 10 teams. That wins, they get the pick, or they get into the drawing for the top. Maybe the top 4 are get equal chances, and the drawing happens, or something like that. That's what I would do.
Toilet tourney.
I don't think taking picks is an answer. I don't think that Stan Van Gundy thinks that you should just let anyone sign the players. Well, then the NBA becomes the Major League Baseball, right? We don't want to do that. But yeah, I think the solution is an in-season tournament. I just don't think that punishing the teams is going to do anything, because all it takes is one really. What do? So if a team tanks and they get the pick that they want, you're gonna the player. I mean, that's not good for the league itself. So I think you flip it on its head and you just say, hey, we're going to turn this into a performance within the instead of the playoffs, right? Your playoffs is you getting a chance to get the best player in the draft.
Well, Reggie Miller said at the All-Star game that tanking never works. You'll make the basketball gods mad, and yet in Philadelphia, they shut it down for an entire month. They lost like 29 out of 30 games. They move up to 3. They get B.J. Edgecombe, and they love it now. So tanking,
exactly.
it worked for them.
Yeah, it does work. He's wrong. He's completely wrong with it. There's no karma in that regard. I mean, if they let you tank, you can tank, and then within 2 or 3 years, you could have yourself a really nice team if you just keep tanking and just keep losing. Have an average coach who doesn't know what he's doing. Keep the young players, full of them, so that they're on board, and then you'll have a really good team. Look at Thunder, for example. They effectively stole away their entire team, had 2 terrible years, and then they drafted really well, and now look at them. So I mean, they're wrong about that. They're completely wrong about that.
Yeah, back in the day, the top team got the top pick, and when the Warriors were the worst team in basketball, they were going to get Patrick Ewing, and they didn't want that to happen. They wanted him to go to the Knicks, so they came up with the lottery. But I want to ask you about the draft right now, and as it's only February. We'll see with March Madness, and as it turns out, 2/3 of the draft picks seem to come from overseas now. The American guys aren't as impressive as they used to be. But if you have the number 1 pick right now, do you go Darren Peterson, Cameron Boozer, AJ DeBansta, Caleb Wilson? What are you thinking?
DeBansta. I like it. I think Boozer's good, but I think Boozer kind of reminds me of like Elton Brand, Chris Webber. Like he's really good in college. Is he going to be that good? I don't know. I mean, he does have a good size. He's quick enough. He dribbles pretty well. He got some good moves. I mean, I think he's going to be a good player. But is he actually 6'9" or is he 6'7" or 6'8"? I don't know how tall he actually is. All that stuff kind of matters. What's his wingspan? I need to see more metrics on him. But DeBansta, to me, who was he compared to? He was compared to somebody pretty closely. Was it Tracy McGrady? He kind of reminds me of Tracy McGrady. He's he's 6'9", but he's a strong 225. He's not a weak 230. He's a strong. He's a really well put together kid. Oh no, Zachary Versace, I think, is someone who compared him to. And I don't see that. I think he's got a good 3. He dribbles well. He jumps really well. Generational, I don't know. He's definitely a plus athlete. He's got size. He's got all the skills. I think he's probably my top guy. Wilson, I really like Darius Akeff too. But is a point guard going to go number 1? I doubt it. He just has an unbelievable talent, which he could. But yeah, I think at this point I would say that AJ DeBansta is probably mine. I mean, Peterson's good, but I don't like the fact that he doesn't really play that often. I think his shot is weird. I don't think his build is great. I think he's sinewy. I don't think he has a lot of strength. Caleb Wilson's got an interesting game, being 6'10", being able to do what he can do. And then obviously Boozer's going to be a staple in the NBA for a long time because he does have a lot of ability. But as far as like actual total upside, I would say Divansa is probably my guy. But it depends on the team, though. Let's say that it is right now. Who's looking at getting that first pick?
It's the Sacramento Kings or the Jazz or the Wiz.
I mean, if I'm the Jazz, I don't take Boozer. I take Divansa. If I'm the King, I probably take Boozer because you need him more. The Jazz have Boozers already with a lot of their guys. From the Kings, I probably take Boozer. From the Jazz, I probably take Divansa.
Well, it's interesting. I'm looking at the mock draft in the top 10. It's 9 freshmen and 1 sophomore. The only sophomore is Jaden Acquaintance from Kentucky. But let me before I let you go, let me ask you about Keaton Wagler, because this guy is supposed to be the next Klay Thompson, same size, 6'6", hitting like 40% from 3 for Illinois. What do you think about Keaton Wagler?
Yeah, Wagler's had a great year. He had a huge game where he scored like 47, 6'6", so he's got some size, 6'6", 200. He's actually, because Boswell's been hurt, they've had him playing point. He's done it really well. That Illinois team actually could win it all. They've got Merkovich and the Ivisic twins, Boswell off the bench, or Boswell as well. The Humberkis kids still on the team. They've got a pretty dang good team. They're actually the tallest team in basketball by far. Their average player is 6'7". But Wagler's got a good game. He's got the size to get his shot off. He's got a high release. I think he'll probably be a good pro. Is he a top pick or a top? Probably not. But I think he's definitely a first rounder if he comes out.
Great stuff as always from JD Sharp. And JD, tell us the email address once again, please.
Sharp, SHARP at betmypicks.com.
Mypicks.com. Good stuff, man. Thanks. We'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, Love.
All right. Open lines the rest of the way. Come on in at 1-800-878-PLAY.
Okay, let's. Do you use the expensive blue pill to perform better? Are you thinking about it? So what if we can promise you results for less than $1 a pill? Okay, so these same pills can cost you $30 or more at a pharmacy. And our Better Blue Pill works for less than $1 a pill. You'll save $29 or more per pill. Now we'll give you 120 blue pills for just $99. Have a little fun and call right now. Get 120 of our Better Blue Pills for just $99. Don't overpay for the other blue pills. Call Steel Man Pills right now and get the Better Blue Pill for less than $1 a pill. Call 1-800-BUY-BLUE, 1-800-BUY-BLUE. It's easy to remember. 1-800-BUY-BLUE. That's 1-800-BUY-BLUE. And thanks for calling.
I'm holding in my hand the American Silver Dollar. It's a beautiful piece of American history. It's 1 ounce of silver. Originally minted in 1986, these coins are a beautiful classic piece of American history, and they're a great investment to add to your portfolio. The beauty of silver is that however much you have available to invest, silver is affordable and easy to acquire, with one coin costing around $30. So, if you choose to invest a few thousand in silver, you can get quite a bit for your money, and you'll have a tangible asset that you can hold, one you can be proud to own. Claim your American history with American Silver Eagle Dollars. Call the Silver Hotline right now.
800-620-1624. 800-620-1624. 800-620-1624. That's 800-620-1624. Hey, airline travelers, let's say you have a problem and you need to change or cancel an existing airline reservation. What do? Well, Skywatch is a free service that can help anyone with any airline reservation fix it. Whether you want to cancel it, change your dates, or add passengers, we can help fix your airline reservations so you get exactly what you need. We've updated our computer database and now have access to every airline around the globe. So now you can make one phone call regardless of who booked your airline, and we'll change it, cancel it, and fix it for you. We know the insider secrets to fixing reservations the airlines don't want you to know about. So if you need to cancel, change, or modify an existing airline reservation, call Skywatch right now. It's a free call, so let us fix it for you. 855-325-5647. 855-325-5647. 855-325-5647. That's 855-325-5647.
I'm a pretty normal guy. I do one weird thing. I like to go in the women's room for number 2. I've been caught several times, and I have paid dearly.
Tittle never eats beef jerky during any month that ends in Vember.
All right, thank you for that, and welcome back to the show. Let's go to the phone lines in Oakland, and we have Chris. How you doing, Chris?
Hey, Rick, what's going on, man? Good show today. How's everything? Good. Did you get your ashes this morning, Rick? Did you get out there and?
Did not go to Ash Wednesday Mass yet. No.
Okay, yeah. No. Well, there's a conflict. I guess it's that. I mean, Lunar New Year's yesterday, and then we have Ramadan today, starting today. So a lot of religion coming up here. But anyway, the reason I'm calling is my favorite topic, the Olympics. Have you been watching a lot? I heard you talking about the hockey, and that's coming up in about an hour. But I guess they're saying the U.S. is ahead of where they were the past 2 Olympics. Although it just seems like you're hearing all the. Just like failure is a very strong word because I can't do any of this stuff, but we're just coming up short, it seems, in a lot of things. And it was good to see Michaela Schifrin hitters today. Have you been watching all the Olympics? Or
what did Michaela Schifrin, the Tittle show vet, do?
I like that. We're in there. No, she got a goal.
Great. Awesome.
It's like Lindsey Vonn was so much hype, but she never really, hadn't done anything recently. And then the one kid got the gold and then just disastrously messed up. Or he fell twice, right? And there's such pressure on these kids, and it just, I guess they call him the quad god or something like that. And they
Ilya Malinin, he did get a team gold, so that's good.
Right. I thought he was going to compete. I guess it was a 2.
That's all you have.
Russian.
That's all you have. That's all you can participate in. You got the team and the individual. And the individual 2 days. The freestyle and then the compulsory.
Yeah, but there was some other, like, ice dancing and stuff. I thought he was going to do that, but whatever.
No, it's a completely different thing.
Well, you're on skates, man.
You might have sharks, too.
Well, that's well, Canada squeaked by Czech Czech Republic today, right?
Yeah.
So, and the U.S. got a tough draw, but I don't know, man. Those Czech brothers are pretty good, and the Hughes brothers are pretty good. But what I was saying on Malinin, though, and you could tell, both Russian figure skaters, and that was whole perception, growing up in the 80s, 70s, and 80s, and 90s, that, the Russians were solid. It was like Ivan Drago type stuff. And just to see the coach, I mean, the dad was, looking sad for his son that he felt, but the coach was seething, and it was you just knew that going on in that guy's head, and probably what that conversation was behind closed doors. And I felt bad for him.
Well, when you're the world champion and you're doing things that you do every day, and then you choke, there's a lot of people that would be upset. But like I was not living or dying on Ilya Malinin. I'm glad the USA got it. I'm glad he got his gold medal. But at least he got what he deserved, which was nothing. Because you might remember the Olympics when Stanford's Debbie Thomas, she fell, I don't know, 3 times, and they still gave her bronze because it was Debbie Thomas, and I thought that was ridiculous.
Yeah, I didn't know she went to Stanford. I remember that, and it was a lot of high. That was like 80, like 88.
That was the one where
or,
Midori Ito did a jump and went out the door. Remember that?
I don't that one.
Yeah.
But I remember Debbie Thomas, and she was African American, and so that was really, it was really good to see her represent our country. And that brings me to my other favorite topic. I think we talked about 4 years ago with Eileen Gu, and I get it. You're making $20 million. She's very attractive. You know, she goes to Stanford. She's getting a lot of hate, which I wouldn't hate, but I do. And as we talked before, Benedict Arnold was one of our war generals, but he's known as being a traitor, and
She's not a traitor.
Eileen Guth really.
She's not even remotely a traitor. She never made any vow. She never made any vow. Who cares she's a complete stranger. Who cares?
100%. No, I get it, but it's not when Klay Thompson is competing for Bahamas. People don't care, but China. Ramped up society today. China's our arch rival.
Oh, no. And I'm so sick of people telling me who I'm supposed to hate. I'm supposed to hate people with cowboy hats who like to fish. I'm supposed to hate Puerto Ricans who don't speak Spanish. Everyone's always telling you who to hate, and I'll pick my own people I want to hate, which is ignorant people. How about that? I know everything, Chris. I'm so great.
I don't know, some reason she just that particular and if we've also talked that if Denmark said, hey, Rick, I want you to come compete for us, you do it, and
I would hella do it if the USA didn't want me first. But this is the thing.
And that's kind of my point is she could easily be.
You know what? This is why I love Eileen. This is why I love Eileen Gu. Not personally, it just shows you how free we are. And I love that. She can grow up here. She's just as Bay Area as you and me. She went to college here like you and I did.
Well, she went to a better college than both of us, but yeah.
Well, she went to a school that was for her. Yeah, Stanford.
Yeah.
But you don't have to bow down. And it just shows how free we are. And I don't know her or even like her personally. I don't care. I don't hate her or like her. She's a stranger. Would I root for her if she wore the flag? Yeah. Do I root against her? No. But it just shows you that we can do what we want without a death squad to get us.
Right. Exactly. And the U.S. as the only athletes that are criticizing our government for right or wrong reason. But you're right. We can do that, and that's great. Nobody else seems to be complaining about their governments, whatever. But obviously, Eileen Gu couldn't say anything about the Chinese government.
But their governments don't. Right. But most people look. If you go to Europe and you look at go to any country's top news website, and I'll bet you out of the top 10 stories, 5 are American stories.
Sure.
The kidnapped host's mom and what Trump has done, and so that's why everyone is so fascinated with America. We're Hollywood. All our politicians. I remember when I interviewed Foil Arms and Hog, they're an Irish comedy group. And they said they're so sick. If you go to any Irish pub, they're talking about who's mayor of New York, and it's like, we have news in Ireland too. It's just, it's just everyone's so fascinated with us because we run things. The rest of the world, you can either say is our B. I don't want to go that far, but we run things, and so people are more fascinated with us. Nobody's fascinated.
Do you think there was a little extra on it when the U.S. beat Denmark over? Do you think Trump was excited that maybe we can get Greenland now? You think
By the way, once again, I will fight for any country that is invaded by us for no reason.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. If anybody attacks us, I'm fighting for America. But yeah, I'm not going to bow down to a despot tyrant.
The Danes gave up how soon in World War II? Was it 18 hours or something? Anyway.
Well, I mean, they could have had everyone killed. Would that have been smarter?
Yeah.
When the Rock knocks on my door and wants to fight me or raid my fridge, I'll open my fridge door because he's gonna get the fridge anyway. So why do I want him to knock me out? Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, there's some that'd be kind of a waste of time there. Finally, Warriors, you think eighth place about where we should fit? I mean, it's just
well at this point going to be they'd have to have a monumental collapse not to be a play-in team. What are they, 10 games ahead of the 11th seed, I guess?
Yeah.
So they're going to be a play-in team. And maybe they win, maybe they won't, and then they'll get knocked out in the round after that. It's just kind of playing out the string. But so that's why we should enjoy Steph while we have him.
And Steph's here. We signed one more year, right? So it'll be probably one more, and then Kerr. And you think Kerr goes after Steph goes?
I don't know. I would think so. I don't think Kerr would want to walk away after this. This season has had so many way more downs than ups. I'd like to think he'd want to go out on a higher note, but I mean, if they win the whole thing, he'd probably retire.
Right. No, I think he's just signed through this year, but I think you're going to give him an extension just to go out with Steph, because you don't see him signing Steph after next year, right? He like 39 or something.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I think what Lacob is going to do is give Steph whatever he wants, anything to keep him around, even to make him GM or coach. He'll do everything he can to keep him around.
No, I mean, as he should. That. Fortunately, our other two owners of our former Oakland teams just didn't do the same thing, and I mean, Al Davis would always have these former Raiders come around, but they just couldn't. They just couldn't win. So anyway, all right, Rick. Well, always a pleasure, and keep it a great show, man.
Thank you.
Keep listening.
That's Chris calling in from Oakland at 1-800-878-PLAY. And one of the good things about doing a syndicated show like this is that I can talk about the Olympics. In fact, I interview many Olympians. I've already interviewed one young lady who has become a bronze medalist, Ashley Farquharson, in the luge as well. We've already had a guy who ended up removing himself by not taking off a helmet, honoring athletes who had died in the Russian invasion of Ukraine. And we had another guy whose boots were too long. We had another guy saying, "I'm sorry I cheated on you, honey." I mean, there's always going to be interesting storylines. You know who I think is a good follow, and I don't follow him, I just see other stuff, is the 4 women on the Canadian ski team. They're all in the village together. They put out some pretty funny stuff. I was actually looking at that stuff. All right, I'm Tittle. Come on back on Byline.
Keep listening for details on how to get up to $300 airline credit. Sky Holidays introduces a one-of-a-kind air credit program. Our buying team got a little too aggressive in getting hotel and air deals, so now we have to liquidate our prices. Here's how. Whether you want to go to Paris, Las Vegas, Hawaii, or anywhere else in the world, we have amazing deals. Book a selected hotel and we'll give you up to $300 airline credit. Now you can book your vacation and get a free credit to use towards airline travel. We'll book both, airline and hotel, with one simple phone call. We have access to most airlines and deals on thousands and thousands of places to stay. Call right now, book your hotel rooms, claim your airline credit. You can change or modify it at any time. 800-256-4816. 800-256-4816. That's 800-256-4816.
Special alert for consumers struggling to pay taxes. There are new tax regulations not published yet. We have the inside track on your new tax savings. These programs are designed to help struggling taxpayers like you. COVID relief programs are gone, but there are new programs to help struggling taxpayers, and we have the inside track. Call now, and we'll take you through these new programs. These taxpayer savings programs have never been available until now. Get out of tax trouble now. It doesn't take weeks. It can happen in one phone call. Call now and get the inside track to get rid of your tax problem.
Call the tax helpline now. 949-0039. 800-949-0039. 800-949-0039. 800-949-0039.
Hello, Americans. It's Uncle Sam here. If you owe $10,000 or more in back taxes to the IRS or state, don't worry. I've got important news that may help you negotiate a lower tax bill. In today's economy, the IRS released a variety of new rules and is offering more flexible terms to help Americans looking to settle their IRS debt. If you apply today, we may be able to lift your wage garnishments and release a freeze on your bank assets or business. Our team of tax professionals can resolve your case and stop collection actions against you. Even if you've been audited or haven't filed a return in years, they can help. Call right now and find out if you qualify to settle your IRS debt far less than what you owe. Pick up your phone right now and call us for a free $500 IRS tax review. Don't wait. Here's the number.
Call right now. 800-943-9215. 800-943-9215. 800-943-9215. Again, for the last time, that's 800-943-9215.
I'm going to give you to the count of 10 to get your ugly, yellow, no good keister off my property.
If you're thinking about calling Rick Tittle, just put down that phone and shut your ugly face.
Nah, shut your ugly face, girl. I wish you would try and slap my face. All right. So I want to talk a little bit more about tanking because remember J.D. Sharp was saying that Barkley maybe just have a tournament. NBA teams have tanked forever, and I'll never forget the Rockets playing Elvin Hayes, who was like 40, to make sure they would get Olajuwon. Mark Madsen, the Cal head coach, had only attempted 8 threes in his career, but the last game of the season for the Timberwolves, he shot threes the whole game. I mean, this is something that we have seen a lot, but the worst team only gets a 14% chance, number one. And even before 85, I mean, even when there were only 7 teams in 85, the worst team had a 14% chance. Now the best team has a 14% chance. There has only been one lottery in the history which the worst team had worse odds than the number one pick does now. And so in 89, when 9 teams had the flat 11% odds, and then 90, they had the weighted system. The tanking wasn't, they said, the crisis that it was. And the Magic won back-to-back lotteries, 92, 93, and so they changed the odds even more favorable to the worst teams. But 2 things changed in 2019. The first is that the lottery drawing changed from 3 teams to 4. That meant that the teams could drop 4 spots from where their record suggested instead of 3. And this created even more of incentive to tank from a defensive perspective. It wasn't just about maximizing the odds of the first pick, but the highest possible floor if the lottery didn't go your way. Because teams with the 3 worst records have identical odds for number 1, but the 3rd worst team can fall as far as 7 in the draft order. And so those odds that the worst teams lost were suddenly up for grabs. And by flattening the odds, the league was trying to create more of incentive for teams in the middle of the lottery to get worse, because the reward for being worse was suddenly greater in the middle than it had ever been. And at this point, I guess changes are coming. And, you know, we talked about the Pacers, $100,000, Jazz, $500,000 fines. So, you know, this preventing teams from getting top picks in consecutive years and introducing some kind of cutoff line. So if you look at what people have come up with, One of them, from Rich Paul, who was just known as Paul before he met LeBron, he suggested a raffle system. Matt Moore, the NBA reporter, pitched a system on how medical residents land at hospitals, like counting straws. And a lot of people have said just remove the draft, make every rookie a free agent, and give worse teams more money to spend on rookies. Then you'd have to convince a player to sign with them. And that sounds, in theory, like it could work, but then the worst teams would theoretically have more money to spend into the cap system, and then the teams would eventually run out of money. But, you know, who can sign anybody is Nike. And so they're creating a system where players could choose their destinations, creates a system wherein the sponsors, who are unconstrained by a salary cap, could pay players more to play in certain cities. Do you want your guy playing for the Bulls or the Kings? You want him playing for the Bulls, right? Do you want him to play for the Lakers or the Orlando Magic? The answer is obvious. So would the Lakers and Knicks run out of minutes eventually? Yeah, I mean, there's no amount of money Nike could pay the next Cooper Flag to come off New York's bench. But if you assume that the Knicks and Lakers and Bulls need a franchise player, the shoe companies are going to ensure that they get one. That's just the way it's going to go. Do you really want a world in which Memphis and Utah have to outbid everybody else to get the next player? Well, I do in free agency. It is. But if you're going to be terrible for the next 20 years like the Kings have been, you're going to get penalized for it because prospects don't want to play for you. So then you get back to the thing we're talking about better teams having higher picks. You know, don't incentivize losing. Incentivize winning. Well, through the draft order, money, trophies, general regard around the sports world. Have hundreds of reasons to win. They don't need another one. I think anyone would seriously suggest giving the NBA champ the number one overall pick. They'll just stay good forever. Can you imagine winning the NBA championship and getting Victor Wembanyama? Right? Remember when Masai Ujiri was with the Raptors? And someone asked him about getting to the play-in game. He said, quote, everyone's like, why don't you get in the play-in? Play-in for what? You want to win a championship here. And then the next year, he called the season a victory. He said, last year, the Tampa tank year, we won. You know why we won? Scotty Barnes. Well, Scotty Barnes, a high pick. You're still incentivizing losing, just a different type of losing. So the flip side here is taking top picks away from the worst teams makes it harder for them to rebuild and get better. You're trapping teams at the bottom forever unless they hit a home run in the middle of the first round. Or just rebuild through free agency. What free agency? The extension rules ensure that very top players become available in the summer. I mean, the best player to change teams through free agency last year would probably be Nickeil Alexander-Walker. Building through agency, this isn't viable anymore. It's just not. So with the lottery tournament, you know, we talked about, you know, the theory is having those bad teams just play each other, but there's a lot of issues there. The first is obvious, and NBA players don't want to help their teams draft their replacement. Is that how they think? Would you care enough to get in this tournament to say, oh, I'm going to be the best point guard possible so they can draft a point guard who's going to take my job? You know, you handle it like the NBA Cup where just players get predetermined cash prize, but maybe every player on the winning team gets a player option added to the end of their contract for one more year. You know, would Zach LaVine play hard for the Kings to get the number one pick if it meant getting a $49 million player option for 27-28? But then as a secondary effect, it creates a drawback on getting the number one pick. You're getting the top prospect, but suddenly all your bad contracts are a year longer. What about, you know, the West Coast Conference tournament? The tournament forces the lower seed to win more games in order to win the whole thing. A 10 or 11 seed would have to win 6 games to win the tournament, but a 1 or a 2, which is usually Gonzaga and St. Mary's, only need to win 2 games. And give the teams with worse records a higher seed, but give the better non-playoff teams a chance to defy the odds and win their way into the top choice. And that, you could argue that doing this would make the early games of the tournament more dramatic than the late ones because they'd involve the better teams. But the other issue to address that would be the teams, what would you call it, gap year? I mean, you imagine Tyrese Halliburton sitting out all season and then returning for this tournament to win Indiana the number 1 pick. So maybe to supply the 65-game awards eligibility rule to the lottery tournament, if a team was bad all year because of injuries, it couldn't bring back all of its players to get a top pick. Well, why not? I mean, some teams might not have the players to get those 65 games, and you could address this either by lowering the threshold to 58, which is the minimum for qualifying for stats at the end, and the teams really invest in their G League developmental structure and probably would include minutes minimum as some sort of, I don't know, just to don't stretch the bench with your best players in the fourth quarter. Is that the fairest way to hand out draft picks? No. But the lottery committee, I mean, you've seen a lot of ideas suggesting the committee, kind of like the NCAA used for the college football playoff or March Madness. And the danger you run into that is there's no such thing as true independence. So say the committee was comprised of media votes, like the awards are. Well, the media has a financial investment to get top prospects to more popular teams, right? They want Cooper Flag going to the Lakers, not the Jazz. They want that type of thing. The Knicks, not the Magic. And so the league office already has a lot of incentives. And I don't know. The Cooper Flag to Dallas thing was so predetermined. Everyone knew that it was. But you could have teams vote on who deserves the top picks. Maybe that could work. Equal representation amongst all 30 teams. And, just naked self-interest. Teams are going to vote to send the number 1 pick to the team that least threatens them, right? If everyone agrees that the Jazz, Wizards, Nets, and Kings are just awful, maybe they want to go there. But maybe they feel like the Kings don't deserve it because the Kings never try. So you don't get them, Sacramento, because you always suck. Why should you get the top pick? And so every Eastern Conference team would want the number 1 pick going to the West and vice versa, getting that player off their own court. Maybe the conferences would have to alternate lottery picks, that the East Coast can only make the odd picks one year. If it's 15-15 tie for the number 1 pick, what's the tiebreaker? But, I mean, you could just mess with the money, and that's just financially punishing teams. And, you think about the luxury tax distributions, you could get cut out of that. You could tell your fans that all ticket prices are 50% off. You could get a 50% refund to all your season ticket holders. When there's an owner in a sport worth more than $100 billion, like Steve Ballmer with the Clippers, I mean, punishing him financially wouldn't even make him blink. So I don't know what the solution is outside of just fining teams. But every single quote-unquote solution or idea is worse than what we have now. It's like the old Winston Churchill quote, democracy is the worst form of government ever except for all the others. I'm Rick Tittle. Come on back.
I'm an American veteran. I'm proud to have served this country. Helping veterans is something all Americans can participate in, and it's as simple as donating an old car that you have sitting around. When you call the Veteran Car Donation Program, they'll explain how their program works, and then arrange a time they can come and pick up your vehicle for free. Running or not, it doesn't matter. They take cars, trucks, motorcycles, or vans. Show your support by donating your car and get a tax deduction in the process. Call the Veteran Car Donation Program right now. They'll come and pick your car up for free, and you'll get a tax deduction in the process. Call the number we're about to give you right now. Thank you, and God bless America.
800-887-1097. 800-887-1097. 800-887-1097. That's 800-887-1097.
I am a non-attorney spokesperson representing a team of lawyers who help people that have been injured or wronged. If you've been involved in a serious car, truck, or motorcycle accident or injured at work, you have rights, and you may be entitled to money for your suffering. Don't accept an offer you get from an insurance company until you talk to a lawyer, and we represent some of the best personal injury lawyers you can find. Tough lawyers that fight to win your case, and they're so good they stake their reputation on it by only getting paid if you win. So if you've been in a serious